Hey fellow Terrarians, and welcome back to our mage playthrough. We have just defeated the Eater of Worlds using our mythical Demon Scythe. A very powerful weapon indeed against all enemies that have multiple segments and also against pretty much any invasion. So Goblin invasion would be very easy using this weapon, and so would be the Old One army. Old One army we don't really need to worry about at the moment because literally there is nothing pre-hard mode that we can obtain from it that would make it interesting or worth exploring at this point. But in hard mode, of course, there are some very interesting options, and we will definitely look into those. And at this point, we are waiting for a meteor to land, of course, because another set of armor that we can craft is Meteor Armor, and we could definitely do that. We'll look into that. But you know what? Let's not waste time. Let's craft us a nightmare pickaxe, and we'll go down to the underworld. We'll mine some hellstone, we'll get a hellforge, and after that we'll craft a molten pickaxe. Of course we need that too for later. Okay, so, and yeah, of course we need to prepare for the landing of the meteor. So pretty much the only thing we need from hellstone to craft from hellstone is the pickaxe. I don't think we need to worry about anything else at the moment. Alright guys, I gotta tell you guys, the sheer amount of weapons, magic weapons in this game is astonishing. It's just amazing how many choices we have early game. Of course we're gonna test most of these, I hope, if not all. And obviously we're gonna test every armor combination, and there are, as I told you previously, there are three main options pre-hard mode, and things get even more exciting in hard mode. But you know what, for now let's just quickly get some hellstone going, and then we'll explore the next. We'll look into, you know what, it's time to fight some, tougher bosses, of course, because there's so many upgrades that are waiting for us. And even now, pre-hard mode, you would say, well, Demon Scythe is probably the most powerful weapon. Well, for invasions, yes. For multiple enemies in certain situations, yes. For multi-segmented enemies, of course. But there are other weapons that are, in my opinion, even better for single target, for example. And I definitely am looking forward to. There are at least 5 or 6 weapons that look very promising, even pre-hard mode, even compared to Demon Scythe. So obviously we're not at the end game pre-hard mode yet, so there is a lot of stuff to still explore, and I think we've got too much hellstone at this point. Yeah, we don't really need that much. Alright guys, so we just need some obsidian, and while we're getting it, so what do we do next? I'm thinking the moment we have a meteor impact, we're gonna go locate the crash site and quickly mine enough meteor to craft the armor, right? So we'll get the armor set, and potentially I'm also thinking, yes, obviously the space gun as well. And by the way, it's very convenient to have a bottomless lava bucket at this point, and this is another great reason to actually fish early on and get your fishing to a decent level, because things like that speed up your progress later on. Obviously, having easy access to lava at any point is very nice to have. Also, the magic conch and demon conch allow you to teleport instantly to the oceans and the underworld, so no need for elevators, no need to worry about even pylons, right? So you just need one pylon at one of the oceans, so you can teleport anywhere. So now we're gonna craft the molten pickaxe, of course, and that's the only thing we need from here. Of course, obviously, I mean, the ham axe is not needed really, because we already have a sawtooth shark, which pretty much is the same in terms of axe power. And so let's just reforge it quick, the molten pickaxe with light modifier, right? So light is the best for speed mining. Okay, we got it. It's actually quite cheap to reforge too, so yeah. Alright, so now it's time to locate and mine some meteorite. Okay, and by the way, when mining it, use all your mining boosts, of course, but I also recommend using obsidian skin potion at least, because that speeds up things quite significantly, makes it easier, right? So you don't need to worry about stepping on it or hitting with your head, right? So also these annoying meteor heads, they're not very powerful, but avoid getting touched, because each touch in master mode is around 100 damage, so that could be significant, and it can easily kill a starter character, of course. Well, by now you would expect, you know, after the Eater of Worlds fight, you should at least have, you know, 200 plus life, but I always go for full life just in case, but there's not to worry about it later, right? Especially given that with Fission we have access to so many potions that, you know, those Plunker potions and mining potions and all other potions are pretty much available in abundance at all times, guys. And this gets even better in hard mode, because you don't, for the most part, you won't even need to worry about crafting potions, except for maybe a couple, such as Life Force. That one you will craft. Okay, guys, so we got enough meteorite, and now it's time to see what's going on here. Okay, let's quickly sort stuff here. And by the way, guys, I received multiple comments from you about, you know, reorganizing my inventory, making it cleaner, making it nicer. You know what? I have something to say about it. Yes, guilty as charged, of course. However, keep in mind that these are not your normal tutorials, right? This is an actual dirty playthrough. That means that most of the items, except for maybe a couple that you see in my inventory, I'm using actively. So within a single like 20 minutes of playtime, I'll be using most of them. You know, I'm using all the Fission accessories. I'm using the Raider, the Life Form Analyzer. I'm using, you know, occasionally using the rope. You know, pretty much. So yeah, some reorganizing is probably you know, necessary at this point. Yeah, I could rearrange stuff for sure, and I will in the future, I promise. Alright, so we'll look into that later, but just trust me for now that out of these items I have in my inventory, I'm actually using pretty much all of them except maybe one or two. So those, yeah, I will have to, and also rearranging, yeah, it couldn't hurt. But for now, yeah, let's do King Slime first, real quick. Okay, so again, at this point, once you have so much firepower, with the Demon Scythe, I mean, King Slime is not really a threat, unless you get, you know, pushed by the minions towards him, or he lands teleports on you. He can still deal quite a bit of damage, guys, by the way. Every touch is like 100. So yeah, but it was an easy fight. Alright, so we've got that out of the way, and I think we need to start preparing the arena for Skeletron, right? So that's our next boss. And the reason, you know what, I'm trying in this playthrough, I will do my best to minimize the complexity of arenas, and like I said previously, we're gonna try no cheese, and we're gonna try to avoid deaths as much as possible. So far it's been deathless, and I'm quite happy about it, but we haven't seen much yet of even pre-hard mode, right? So there is still a lot to do. So just quickly setting up an outpost here. I'm actually planning to put the forest pylon here instead of spawn, and I'll tell you why, guys. This is actually a good strategy, and I've done it before quite successfully. So we only have one forest pylon, right? And so placing it at spawn, there is really no reason if you have a magic conch, because magic conch lets you teleport to the oceans, right? So now one of the oceans, you put an ocean pylon, and from there you teleport anywhere else, right? So for that reason, and obviously magic mirror will brings you back to your spawn location, so you don't need a forest pylon at spawn. That means you can actually have an extra place, and in this case, because it's a forest biome next to the dungeon, I've chosen to place my forest pylon here with two NPCs accompanying it. So now it's going to be a very easy access to the dungeon. I never need to, you know, create temporary spawn points and dwellings here. I just, you know. And by the way, speaking of arenas, this is it. 100 tiles of platforms. At this point, I consider for master mode Skeletron that's almost an overkill. That's good enough. Not gonna be build anything complex. And I've seen lots of different approaches. People make lots of arenas, lots of levels, and then you put shelters from for the phase 2. But I think, you know what, if you play half half relaxed, pretty much, you can beat Skeletron without any problem. So let's do this. We just put a few candles here, torches, bust statues, just because I have an abundance of them. Troll the fishing, got like 5, so this is good. And put 2 NPCs here, put a heart lantern, some campfires. So I mean, we're really ready for Skeletron at this point. And now with fighting Skeletron, in my opinion, the hardest phase is actually not the second, it's the first one. It's when you don't see the hands and get stuck, bounced from the hands and so on. But let's start. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm using the Meteor Armor at this point, and immediately I realized that was a mistake. That was a mistake because, I mean, not mistake in terms of the mana and the weapon, right? So obviously Demon Scythe at this point is not very efficient and not the best combination paired with the armor. So I have to switch to use the space gun. And this is actually quite easy now. Space gun, mythical space gun, of course. I mean, most of our weapons are now mythical. And reforged, and now 0 mana. Look at this. When 2 hands are down, it's just effortless. All you have to do, by the way, phase 2, this is why I consider it so easy. You just spin around, follow the path, right? So go ahead of the skulls continuously like this and keep shooting. And there is literally no way for him to even touch you. Okay, so I mean, this is how easy it can get, guys. I mean, it can get even easier because I still get hit occasionally, right? So, but I bet we can do a no hit as well. And I wonder if we have to farm this boss, because you know what? One of the great items pre-hard mode that he drops is the Book of Skulls, and this is something I think we need. And let's see, yeah. So we got the bag, we got the relic, and again I need to clean up some stuff here. But you know what? By the way, I'm building this dwelling real quick for the clothier, because we will be farming Skeletron, because we didn't get the Book of Skulls from this fight. So that means we have to kill him again, and maybe multiple times. So we'll do that, guys. We'll do that definitely, because Book of Skulls is on my list to show you and to test, right? So compare it to other magic weapons. So for sure we're gonna get it. Alright, so now the clothier has arrived. We are going to explore the dungeon. And by the way, guys, multiple times you asked me how to prepare the dungeon for hard mode. Now I'll tell you something. So I'll show you just the beginning of it, but I mean, because it's a tedious process, and I don't want to waste in this playthrough too much time to do that. But I mean, if I play, let's say if that world was my main world, I would definitely do that. So I'll show you the beginning of it. So usually at this point, what I would do, I would arm myself with either bombfish. Bombfish is actually pretty good. Or just bombs with just normal bombs, but because bombfish you acquire for free while fishing, so I use those. But basically, see what I do? Using potion of danger sense to show all the traps, so I see all those spikes. I basically just destroy them with bombs. That's it. And so I mean, obviously the dungeon blocks are intact, but oh yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. Yeah, that's very smart. Don't do that. Okay. Alright, so what we do, basically, we descend into the dungeon, open all the areas, like put torches, put bone torches, by the way. I suggest to put those. I just don't have them at the moment, so I'm using Ultra Bright, which are also good, but Bone Torch also gives you a little bit of extra luck, and that also slightly reduces damage you get from mobs and slightly increases your damage, which is actually quite important, especially in the dungeon, especially post Plantera. That's gonna be a dangerous place. So how to pacify it properly? So additionally to that, you could use peace candles for sure, and also you can plant sunflowers. So those two together, plus all the reduction of all the water candles, you will achieve an effect of the least possible spawns of mobs throughout the dungeon. And now later on, of course, you can break some of the, like, reshape the dungeon, and even in pre-hard mode you can still do that, but the only pickaxe that does that is molten. So I mean, it's better to do that in hard mode actually, but pre-Plantera. Okay, so once it's not yet super dangerous. But I would say at least, you know, the first level you prepare pre-hard mode. So that is removing all these spikes, removing all the traps, setting peace candles, removing all the water candles, and putting additionally sunflowers. So if you do those, at least also strategically mark all the chests of interest that you might want. And also maybe prepare some areas for fishing, and I'm definitely gonna do some fishing here. It's very convenient, and you can actually make find a zone, prepare it for fishing, that will spawn 0 mobs. Basically, you just fish and obtain your dungeon crates. By the way, guys, dungeon crates have the same exact loot as dungeon golden locked chests. Pretty much the same, because dungeon crates would also have golden locked boxes that require key to open. Okay, so same idea. So again, following this approach, you can pretty much guarantee that the dungeon is going to be you know, a safe place, safer, let's just say safer, because again, once you enter post Plantera mode, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. Of course, there's going to be extra tough enemies, such as paladins, such as quite a few different types of mages that create a lot of chaos, obviously, and they deal a lot of damage, of course. So I mean, you need to prepare for those. There's gonna be a lot of enemies. Another thing we're looking for, by the way, guys, is the water bolt. By the way, here it is, and this is another great weapon that we're gonna use, and we're gonna compare it to other weapons. So another book that is highly useful in multiple situations in pre-hard mode. Okay, guys, look at this. So I told you that this is pretty much a custom-made pond, right? So I'm just gonna widen it a little bit here, and note that nothing spawns pretty much. There's something spawns below, but I don't think like once you have it already, there's not gonna be any spawns. Why? Because we're in a place that nothing could spawn above us or below us, pretty much. I might have to actually move this ocean pylon to the other side, close to the angler. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. And again, guys, look at how convenient it gets with the magic conch. It's just unbelievable. I mean, and I got asked this question multiple times previously during multiplayer co-op runs. People asking, why do you even care about magic conch? Well, it's so convenient. It's gonna be even more convenient in hard mode. For example, you want to keep one of your oceans. Let's say my right side ocean is going to be I'm gonna build a let's say the Dread Nautilus farm, like Blood Moon farm, plus pirate farm, right? Pirate invasion. But I don't want to demolish it every time I want to do something else. For example, the left side I want to keep clean for Duke Fishron or some other, or maybe I want to build something, right? So how are you gonna teleport between the oceans, right? So with only one pylon, I mean, now you have to figure it out. Maybe create an overlap of biomes and put another different kind of pylon. But you don't have to. You just need to have magic conch. All it takes. And magic conch is I usually acquire it within the first 2 hours of my play, pretty much. Okay, guys, so now it's time to actually start farming, because we need lots of keys, golden keys. And once we get that, we'll be able to open a lot of boxes from fishing, golden lock boxes, or call it golden lock chests. And we need some loot, because again, dungeon provides us with a lot of interesting stuff already. So we have at least 2 more weapons to explore, plus the one from Skeletron. Plus we are looking for a shadow key, and with a shadow key we can open obsidian locked boxes, and that gives us a lot of interesting choices of weapons And guys, I'm getting overwhelmed with all the choices, because you know, compared to, let's say, the summoner, you only have two endgame summons, right? So you have the frogs and imps. That's it. But here you have at least 5-6 almost equally powerful weapons in pre-hard mode. And yeah, so you see, water bolt is also useful, and we're using a space gun, and we also have, like, there's so many other options as well. So I mean, as you can see, master mode dungeon is not a dangerous place if you play carefully. So far, again, we're going deathless. There wasn't even a single close call so far. So I would say we're doing pretty good. But I mean, I do not expect to go deathless throughout the entire playthrough. So yeah, we'll see how many deaths there will be in the end. And this is again a preparation for future hardcore play. I really want to complete this game on master mode hardcore, legitimately do it. I think the only way to do it is when it's streamed, the entire process, and not, you know, edited playthrough, because everyone can edit it, and you know, I could potentially make backups of my character, of my world, right, of the gear and everything, and then just, you know, upon death you just simply restore and you know, pretend that it never happened. But no, I mean, if we want to be real, and for that it has to be streamed live. Okay, so the whole thing. So it has to be a relatively fast playthrough, guys. So we're gonna get there, but for now, guys, I'm farming the dungeon, and we'll continue farming Skeletron momentarily. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.